This is the eHealth Radio Network, your source for health advice on demand. And now your host, Eric Michaels.
Thanks for joining us once again here on the eHealth Radio Network. This is your host, Eric Michaels. eHealth Radio gives you the most current health information, news, and advice featuring some of the leading innovators in healthcare and wellness who are changing healthcare as we know it. For more eHealth Radio reports, we invite you to visit our main radio channel site at eHealthRadioNetwork.com. Today on the program, we're visiting with Donovan Quill, Executive Vice President, Business Development, Growth and Strategy at AscellaHealth, a global specialty pharmacy and healthcare solutions company, to talk about the company's innovative end-to-end solutions for life sciences manufacturers. And Mr. Quill, thanks for joining us here today on eHealth Radio.
Thanks for having me, Eric. This is wonderful.
Well, I certainly want to thank you for taking out a moment out of your busy schedule to be with us here today. I know you're quite busy. So for starters, if you would, tell our listeners some information on your background and role with AscellaHealth to kick things off today.
Yeah, so it's great to be here. As I said before, thanks for having us. My role with AscellaHealth is, as you said, Executive Vice President of Growth and Strategy and Business Development. So really it kind of stems from my history with a rare genetic disorder. My dad's entire side of the family I experienced firsthand what it was like growing up with somebody who battled with a life-threatening disease and watched it affect my dad and all his brothers and sisters, my grandparents, and some of my cousins. An alpha-1 antitrypsin deficiency, for those who don't know, is a genetic disorder that affects your lungs. Basically produces emphysema, or your liver, and it'll look like cirrhosis or liver cancer. So it's a genetic disorder passed down by your parents. And my dad in 2006 had a double lung transplant from having emphysema severely because of alpha one. And in 2007, him and I both basically said, hey, let's change our career path. Let's look at this and let's get involved and help families and help people and help others identify what it's like to, and give back and help them in terms of being taken care of, help design programs for these patients. So we started out first in the community we knew. We looked at the Alpha 1 community, and we realized after a few years of working in that community or I realized that there were so many more people out there that needed help. I began to branch out and use what I learned from how we cared for people in the Alpha 1 community. And in 2015, my partners and I founded OptimiCare Incorporated. And OptimiCare is a nationally licensed pharmacy specialty distributor and patient service organization that really focused on the needs of patients and caregivers. So we looked at every program and disorder we had that was separate. We built the programs we dedicated to the needs of the patient, physicians, caregivers. And when we looked at every program individually, we realized that we can really impact those patients in a very special way. But at some point, we realized that while we were doing a lot of things for the patients, we really were missing a few things. So we formed a strategic alliance with the AscellaHealth family of companies in 2021. And that strategic alliance really allows us to utilize all the services that AscellaHealth gives. So in the AscellaHealth family of companies currently, there's AscellaHealth as the parent company, there's OptimiCare, and then there's Terabellum. So AscellaHealth really gives us that understanding of the payer market. They're a specialty carve out for PBMs and for payer landscape. So it really helps us understand the specialty pharma policy carve outs. It helps us understand access and approval for therapies. It helps us really allows us to tap into the expertise of the parent company and develop those payer strategies for patients and payers and really understand how pharma can really get involved from a pre-commercial through a commercial standpoint. Terabellum is the Irish-based subsidiary with an expansion plans going through Germany, Ireland, Italy, Europe, and the UK, and offering that European market access through payer expertise, supply chain logistics, distribution, and unique pharmaceutical outcomes. There's some certain loan-based assistance programs we have for some life science partners and other industry stakeholders. And this really allowed us, from the OptimiCare standpoint, to join that family of health. And it also gave the Acella family of health an opportunity for them to tap into OptimiCare's national footprint for product distribution and product development. So now we have really a wonderful opportunity to collaborate with the patient communities and pharma communities worldwide, helping them gain regulatory approval, building on patient first programs. And really, it goes along with my whole life's mission of helping patients and caregivers with complex and rare disorders. And that hasn't changed since 2007. Now I just get to really, really work with experts in this field, and really basically take what we've done on a national level and go international. And we're really excited about that.
Well, with that fine report, it certainly shows you're making a dent globally in the space, and really do appreciate all your efforts and looking forward to hearing more. Now, AscellaHealth takes a consultative approach in their business model. Can you discuss how finding a vendor that provides all services from pre-commercialization to fulfillment through compliance and monitoring will create a more positive patient experience and produce better outcomes? I'm sure listeners would appreciate some information on that.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. So we've seen a shift in the pharmaceutical market and the strategies of pharmaceutical companies as of late. We've seen them really go from that big box hub and spoke, distribution model, and then we've seen these manufacturers, especially in the ultra orphan rare disease market, want to take a different approach to things. They don't want somebody just telling them what they have to do. That somebody putting them into a bucket. They want to see a company that wants to be a partner with them, not just a vendor. They want somebody who can trust. They can trust and they can work with to develop programs to go along with their novel therapies. So that's when they find that trusted partner, and they look to us, and that's where we come in. We're able to relieve a lot of the burdens that they have. We're able to work through and navigate the entire landscape of the pharmaceutical market. And this is where our approach, as a one-stop shop, specialty white glove service provider, really comes into play. With the Acela Health family of companies, we have the unique ability and experience to work with a product manufacturer from a pre-commercial through commercialization and beyond. And that really maximizes that product's life cycle. It also helps the patients we serve because we learn so many things from that pre-commercial uh, part of the program. So during clinical trials and the pre-commercial design of the program, we really learn the market access strategies we need. We really learn the patient journey, and we understand what's going to go into seeing that product be approved, seeing that product be covered, and then we also see what we need to do to make sure that the outcomes are there. And we take all that information and we design what we would call our patient and support services. So our hub services. So with a comprehensive patient support service that with all the information we've learned from that pre-commercial service, we really kind of work through and expand that product's life cycle. We look at having strategies to get patients on product from a payer standpoint. We look at decreasing the time to fill. We look at how we can increase patient engagement and optimize outcomes. We look at technology tools that we can use, the algorithms that are used, and we have experts in our call center to help those things come down, help those barriers come down for those patients. What's most important is medication delivery. With our services, and being a duly accredited and nationally licensed specialty pharmacy wholesaler, 3PL, and specialty distributor, it means we can service any site of care that patient needs. So we can service the patient in their home. We can make sure the product gets to their hospital, gets to the hospital that they may be admitted into. If they go on vacation, we can get the product to where they are on vacation, especially if it's an infused product or an injectable. We can work with a network of nurses to get the product to the patient directly in their home. We can work with them to have them, in their office if they want the medication delivered to their office. So the medication delivery is a key to making sure that the patient isn't burdened with their disorder or with their therapy. And then that all of those things tie into compliance and pull through. We want to make sure that the patient gets the product that they need, and we want to make sure that they get it when they need it and when they want it. And with that, the right amount of all of those things mixed with the right amount of personal touch, mixed with the right amount of technology, really shows exceptional outcomes to that patient. And we see a higher degree of compliance, we see a higher degree of retention, and we see patients becoming, more involved in their own health. And what's even greater for the manufacturers is they've really reaped the benefit of working with one single vendor for all their programs and all their milestones. They have all of the data at their fingertips. They can make decisions quickly. They can make everything that they do is purely actionable to fit the needs of the patients that they're serving. So when we take that consultative route, we do it from clinical trial all the way through commercialization. And we make sure that those patients are at the forefront of everything we do. And we work with the manufacturers to make sure that they are keeping those patients at the forefront of everything they do.
Well, it certainly is tremendous to see what you are providing and putting that patient first for sure, and certainly will produce better outcomes. Now, also, if you would discuss how Acela Health works to create a seamless patient experience to ensure that care and/or business is not disrupted.
Yeah, it's a great question, Eric. The one of the big things that we're seeing is we're coming out of the pandemic, right? For better or for worse, wherever we are, wherever thought processes are, we're sort of coming out of the pandemic as a society as a whole. So we're being asked by a lot of pharma companies to look at their current program and evaluate how we can possibly move their patient population from either multiple specialty pharmacies, multiple touch points into our single source, or how we can help with us being a central point of focus for those patients. And their real concern is, if we change how we do things, are we going to lose patients? Are patients going to lose interest? Are we going to see patients, drop off of therapy? Are we going to see them get lost in the shuffle? And the simple answer is no. The simpler answer is to have a plan, and really communicate that plan to the patients, to the providers, and then make sure you follow that plan. So we at Acela Health, we have that plan. We've built a blueprint that we've used to develop, we've used over the past 15 or so years to develop and manage and transition 40 over 40 different products, 40 different orphan, ultra orphan products. And we've transitioned a lot of those, or we've built and managed those programs, to having very, very little, if no disruption at all. So when we follow this plan, we call it our blueprint, and we use this for all of our programs that we bring up. We follow this plan, and we have the experience and expertise of our management team and all those folks that follow the plan and work with our pharmaceutical manufacturers. We know that we will have a seamless transition of any program at any time, and we make sure that we put our we put key performance indicators around that. We put certain milestones within our transition plans within that, so we make sure that we hit all of those milestones, and we make sure that we're hitting those transition plans. So we don't want to disrupt patients in any way possible, and we've built a pretty much a foolproof plan to make sure that we have zero disruption if we move patients from one product to another. We move patients from one service provider to us, and you can rest assured as a healthcare provider, and you can rest assured as a pharmaceutical manufacturer, that we will have a seamless transition plan that's well communicated and followed to every patient.
Once again, we're speaking with Mr. Donovan Quill. He is the Executive Vice President, Business Development, Growth, and Strategy at Acela Health, a global specialty pharmacy and healthcare solutions company, here on eHealth Radio's Health News Channel, a part of the eHealth Radio Network. Now, another question for you, Mr. Quill. Tell us about the recent expansions to your executive leadership team and how these promotions and additions will support Acela Health's business initiatives and future growths, specifically in relation to the UK and Germany expansions.
Excited to talk about the team, and really what I'm most impressed about since joining Acela Health is the experience and depth of the team. Throughout the organization from top down, the depth of knowledge is second to none. You can tell a lot went into developing standards and making sure that there's strict criteria for hiring, and that's just not the executive team. That's also anybody who's from the care coordinators to the pharmacist to the market access strategist, and we've seen as our executive team actually as it grow, and the support of all the folks that are under the executive team really shows the level of expertise and knowledge. So we have Mike Baldzicki, who has years and years in the pharmacy, in pharma, payer access. He knows everybody. So if there's something we need something from somebody, he knows them. If he doesn't know you, you're going to become fast friends with this guy. He's very knowledgeable in the SP industry, and it's really his knowledge is second to none. Craig Cassesi is a payer guru. He comes from the pharma side of the business, so he truly understands the benefit of coverage. He understands the benefit of networking. He can work through any situation, and he'll help with coverage and formulary. He manages Terabellum business, so now he's working and using his knowledge and taking that international. He's going to share everything he knows with the entire world. I keep saying, Craig fully understands what it's going to take to pull products through as well. So he has a new hospital initiative that he's developed for pharma, which will certainly be beneficial to those companies who lack sales force or lack a promotional program. Darcy McDermott, she's the head of marketing, she's our chief marketing officer. She is a marketing genius. One of the best things about Darcy is you usually get somebody who in the pharmaceutical world or with what we do, who comes from a marketing background and then develops the understanding of the pharmaceutical, especially pharmacy, healthcare world. Darcy comes to AscellaHealth with a background in healthcare and a background in marketing. So she really knows how to tell the full story and the value proposition that we have through AscellaHealth. And one of the people I'm most excited about, Tiff Burt, she's our new president and COO of OptimiCare. She's going to take OptimiCare to new heights. She really has a strong background on the pharmaceutical side, but also working with patient in rare disease and complex therapies. She knows exactly what the pharma partners are looking for. She knows how to strategize to make sure patients are taken care of. She's built tons of programs from the pharma side. Now she gets to take that knowledge, do a gap analysis of what it takes from the specialty pharmacy side and from the patient access side, and really add a different lens to what we've already done with OptimiCare, and then just make it so much better. So I'm really excited to see how Tiff takes OptimiCare to new heights. Really, again, just really excited to work with the team at AscellaHealth, the leaders and the other folks within the organization and the family of companies. Take that expertise we have and really branch out into Germany, UK, and other places into the EU through Terabellum, and then continue to do wonderful things for patients here in the U.S. market. And then we really hope that the expansion in the EU helps us bring some of those products and therapies that are available to patients in the EU to the U.S. and vice versa. We're hoping to take the products that are available in the U.S. to the EU and help them launch and have strategies worldwide.
Yeah, quite impressive, the feedback there on your executive leadership team in regards to the expansion into the UK and Germany, specifically on that. Pretty awesome. Now, as we conclude today, one last question. Can you tell us about how AscellaHealth provides pharmaceutical companies with the opportunity to promote product uptake, establish brand loyalty, and compliance with treatments? Let's wrap things up with that today.
Yeah, perfect. We have a patient first approach in everything we do. It puts that patient at the center of our universe, and we develop teams that are working with those patients to create real world outcomes. And that level of care that we provide our pharmaceutical manufacturing partners, the level of care that we provide the patients, and level of care that we provide the providers and the physicians worldwide, really shows that we walk beside them. We are there to help make decisions. We are there to improve overall outcomes. We're there to deliver rich data, and all of the putting the right touch of technology with the right level of personal care really forms those bonds and those relationships with each and every one of our programs. And we brand each and every one of our programs back to the manufacturer or the treatment or therapy that those patients are taking. It creates that loyalty to the brand because of all the folks that are there with them, because of all of the touch points that they have, because of all of the trusted path that we're all on together as we walk beside each other and really take the hand of those patients to make sure that they get the care that they deserve. Those patients feel that loyalty. They understand there's somebody there with me. They basically take ownership in their own health, and we all work together for great positive outcomes. And that's where we see that basically that unity of the program, and we see that brand loyalty, and we see patients want to say, I'm going to take this drug because you're behind me and you're helping me, and I want to be better, and I want to help, in this whole healthcare paradigm that we're all in, and I know you're there to help me through the whole process. So it's really a team effort, and once you have that team effort, you feel like you're part of something. And that's where that loyalty comes in. That's where the compliance is there. And that's where the treatment options are actually there to help those patients.
What an exciting, tremendous report. And after hearing this, who wouldn't want to be affiliated with AscellaHealth in some way? Really do appreciate all your efforts and for your time to share this important aspect of healthcare today. Listeners interested in learning more about AscellaHealth, simply visit AscellaHealth.com. This link will be included within the show notes of this broadcast to further aid as well. Mr. Quill, all the best, and thanks so much for joining us here today on eHealth Radio.
Thank you, Eric.
Hey, you're more than welcome anytime. We've been speaking with Mr. Donovan Quill. He's the Executive Vice President, Business Development and Growth and Strategy at AscellaHealth, a global specialty pharmacy and healthcare solutions company. And once again, to learn more, visit AscellaHealth.com. And again, this has been your host, Eric Michaels, and we do thank you for your continued support of the eHealth Radio Network. Join us again soon for another episode that will help further expand your knowledge on those things that are important to your health and wellness. For more eHealth Radio reports, we invite you to visit our main radio channel site at eHealthRadioNetwork.com. And as always, we do thank you for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in to the eHealth Radio Network. For more information or to subscribe to this podcast, visit eHealthRadioNetwork.com.